All right, just about the last fraction problem for a while. You will see some partial fraction decomposition later as well. There are 2 problems later in the packet, but I thought this is a good place to have one too. That way you can practice early and practice late and make sure you get these problems right. So the first thing you want to do when you recognize a partial fraction decomposition problem is clear your denominators. And in order to do that, you definitely want to factor it first. So x squared plus x minus 6 factors to x plus 3 times x minus 2. And so if I multiply by those 2 binomials, that will clear my denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's why this is a good place to look at partial fraction decomposition, at least for a minute. So I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by x plus 3 times x minus 2. Again, this is legal because we have that equal sign in our problem, and we can do the same thing to both sides of the equation. So for A, my x plus 3's are going to cancel. So I'm going to be left with A times x minus 2. In the middle. For B, my x minus 2's are going to cancel. So I'm left with B times x plus 3. On the other side of my equation, my whole denominator cancels. The x plus 3 and the x minus 2 cancel. So I'm left with 7x minus 4. And now we're going to strategically pick some x values so that we can find A and B. The first x value I'm going to pick, I think, is 2. It's a nice, easy one. If I put in x equals 2, I'm going to get a 0 with my A. 2 minus 2 plus B times 2 plus 3. 7 times 2 minus 4. That's going to 0 out my A times 0, so that whole term is going to be gone. And that's going to leave me with 1 variable and 1 equation, and that is definitely something I can solve. So 2 plus 3 is 5, I have that B there. 7 times 2 is 14, minus 4 is 10. That means B equals 2. I'm going to do the same thing to 0 out my B. I'm going to 0 out my B using negative 3, since the binomial next to B is x plus 3. So I'm going to put negative 3 in for all my B's. I'm sorry, for all my x's, not my b's. We already know what b is. B is 2. Alright, just double checking. I have negative 3's in for all my x's. This b is going to 0 out. Negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. Negative 5a. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. Minus 4 is negative 25. That means when I divide by negative 5, a is 5. So my partial fraction decomposition for 7x minus 4 over x squared minus x, or plus x minus x, is this. 5 over x plus 3 equals 2, plus, sorry, 2 over x minus 2. And you can double check that, and the way to double check, you can double check 2 ways. You could graph your original and your answer together. They should make the same graph. You should see just one graph right on top of the other. The other way you can double check this is to combine your fractions here. Get a common denominator and combine. You should get 7x minus 4 as your numerator. All right, the next unit in the final exam review packet is rational functions. So think asymptotes and asymptote rules before you get there.